Alright, let's talk about this mess that Apple just rolled out. Digital IDs. Sounds cool and convenient, right? No, it's not. In fact, it's extremely dangerous. It's another step towards a world where every movement you make, every step you take, your freedom, your identity, all of it is tied to a screen that is controlled by somebody else. And the fact that Apple, of all companies, is helping build this system, Steve Jobs must be rolling in his grave if he were to see what his company has turned into. So here's what's happening. You scan your face, you do a little face movement, and boom, your digital ID is now stored on your phone. Apple says it's encrypted, that they can't see when or where you use it. But let's be real. Once the infrastructure is there, it's there. And you don't need a tinfoil hat to see where this goes. Every time you hand over your phone to prove who you are, you're normalizing a system where you need a device and a corporate middleman just to exist. Digital IDs sound innocent until they're not. The more we tie identity to devices, the more we hand power over to corporations and government to track, control, and eventually restrict. Lose your phone, lose your ID, get locked out of your Apple account? Congratulations, you're now locked out of your entire life. And once these digital IDs are in place, the next step will be required for convenience. You need to board a plane? Digital ID. Need to prove your age to buy something? Digital ID. Need to access a service? Digital ID. And suddenly, optional becomes mandatory. That's how it always plays out, quietly, under the guise of convenience. And here's where Apple's fall really hurts. This used to be the company that stood up for privacy and freedom. Do you remember when Apple refused to unlock the iPhone for the FBI? That was the red line in the sand that would never be crossed. Now that line is clearly gone. Instead of fighting for user privacy, they're bending over backwards to collaborate with government tracking agencies, pushing us deeper into surveillance systems. The same Apple that once told us to think differently now wants us to obey quietly. On top of that, their innovation is gone, completely dried up. The products are stale, their software is extremely buggy, and instead of fixing this rot, they're jumping headfirst into dystopia using their polished aluminum. It's pathetic. Steve Jobs built Apple to empower the individual. This Apple is building a cage and calling it progress. Apple keeps saying, you control what's shared. That is a lie dressed up in their marketing. You control nothing once the system decides what verified means. You'll share whatever they demand because the alternative is remaining locked out. This is not consent when your only option is compliance. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Every system like this starts off as convenience, but ultimately ends up as a requirement. The more we rely on Apple or any tech giant to verify our identity, the less free we become. Your ID should belong to you and you alone, not behind a Face ID on a $1,000 phone. The only language these corporations understand is money. Stop giving them yours. Don't buy the new iPhone. Stop buying their products. Stop investing into their ecosystem. Instead, support the companies that still care about user control, open systems, and privacy. Every dollar you spend is a vote, and right now, the power is in your hands. Voting with your wallet matters more than any political ballot. If people stop funding this garbage, they will listen. Or they'll wither. That's how you fight back. Not with hashtags, but with financial starvation. So yeah, this isn't just about another new feature. It's about the line between freedom and control. Apple crossed it. Digital IDs are a Trojan horse. And if we don't wake up and start normalizing this, we are going to wake up in a world where our entire existence belongs to a corporation. The vote that matters is the one you make with your money. Use it wisely, or get used to being owned by that very devices that you paid for.